So we have Spawn Bloodletter. I'm going to zoom in so that Mike and I can both see what you've done here. Summarize for us, because I want to make sure that we're setting this up for the last part, which is Luminous.
You know, Tim and I always start off with a plot, and one person will do the first draft of the plot, then the other person will give some notes, and then the first person will tweak it, and then that plot will be the basis for the script. So this is the plot that we both mutually agreed on, that I was the originator on, and this is then the nucleus for the script.
You're outlining sort of beats, right? This is kind of the beat sheet.
Right, and not only what you see, but just the emotional beats. What's happening with the characters in this scene? Like, what's Tasha Thornwall's perspective? Because this scene is actually one of the flashback scenes. This takes place 9 years before Bloodletter 1. This is a very early Tasha Thornwall who is just beginning her journey of disillusion.
We take this and we move into an actual script page. Now, I think what said page 6, and we're looking at 11 now, right?
Yes, 100%. So one of the things that happens is man plans and God laughs, right? So when you make a plot, you have to understand that that plot is not set in concrete, because when you're writing it, things organically change. And as I was writing, it made sense to me, oh, you need to start this issue off not with Bloodletter, but with other members of the Spawn universe cast. There's a team of heroes called the Scorched, and they're very important to this story. There's members of the Scorched that get kidnapped, so that the leader of the Scorched, whose name is She-Spawn, she is drawn into Tasha's trap, in a sense. So when I was writing the script, I added pages before this scene. So yes, what was page 6 became page 11 of the actual comic.
All right, so panel 1, we're in flashback. And then panel 2, will we come back to regular, or is the entire scene flashback?
This entire page is flashback.
So we're in flashback, cracking them out, blood wiping, you're keying in on the color there. You got a close-up on Tasha, ready to go again. Then you switch to X nighttime, close-up of feet on hot coals. You got some words that enhance it, and then a full shot of Tasha standing on the hot coals. I noticed that you do what a lot of professional writers do, Joe, is you not only give description, not over description, enough description, and then also enough dialogue so that the artist knows the charge of the scene and how much room they need to leave.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a full script writer. I know that a lot of people, there's a whole generation that came up on the Marvel method, which is, you know, the writer writes what's in all the panels, doesn't include any dialogue. And so then the artist draws and then the writer writes to that. I like to write full script to get it out of my head, as someone who's had art training. And so I understand what artists do as much as I could possibly without doing what they do. So when I write dialogue, I take space into consideration. And I feel like, to your point, that helps the artist understand, okay, this is the emotional state of this character in this panel. This is the emotional state of this entire scene. And it helps determine how the artist draws it. It helps determine how the colorist colors it, right? Like, color is psychological, and you can see the transition from cool to warm is important here. It's not just the fact that they're now standing on hot coals. It's that we're upping the ante of the drama of the scene. I think it's essential that colorists get scripts as well. I think they need to have that context as well. And we see the results, and you know it's worth it.
All right, so let's take that script and move it into the actual page. So let's zoom in on the page, Joe. So, you know, you could take us through play by play based on the script.
Right. So basically, one of the things that I did in the story was this transition from the present to the past and back and forth. So in the last panel of the previous page, in the present, Tasha Thornwall, the Bloodletter, is punching She-Spawn. And then when you go to this page, it's the past. It's 9 years ago, and it's the same characters. It's younger Tasha punching Jessica Priest, right? And this is the first moment in the training where Tasha actually got to tag Jessica, because Jessica's a superior fighter to her. So then Jessica basically says, okay, there you are. There's the fighter under all the muck and the psychological damage. Tasha says, let's go again. And then the whole scene about the coals is Jessica is teaching Tasha to be able to endure pain. And basically what she's saying to her is suffering is the only inevitability of existence. Pain will happen. You have to be able to not only endure pain, but you have to be able to channel it, because it's the only way you're going to outlast the enemy, by being able to take pain.
We talk about this all the time, show and tell. You have the dialogue where they're talking about pain as a reminder that you're alive, but then also reinforcing it with an obviously painful way to be standing. And I think you get you get two layers. And I think the dialogue reinforces who the teacher and who the student is. It's not two equals on the coals. You have one who is teaching the other.
That's right. And something I want to point out here, the genius of Christian Rosado, the artist. In the script, the last panel, I wrote Tasha looking dead at the reader and kind of like she was gritting her teeth or something like that. But Christian went for something more subtle and dramatic, which is, Tasha's looking to the side and she's trying to endure. She doesn't want to grit her teeth. She doesn't want to show pain, and she's receiving an uncomfortable truth about life, and she's not ready to look Jessica in the eyes yet. That's such an emotional subtlety, man. Like when I look at that page, talented artists make writers look better. That's just a fact. And an artist like Christian Rosado makes Tim and I look better, because Christian, he's a thoughtful storyteller.